Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to FPL. Don't panic. End of game week one. So in this video, I'm going to keep it fairly short. It may be my only one this week, so I'm going to squeeze quite a lot into about 15-20 minutes. I'm going to do a quick review of game week one, and then I'm going to run through what is going to happen for me in game week two, and a couple of pointers towards what I'm fairly sure I'll be doing, because I've got a fairly concrete plan for the next few game weeks. Let's start with game week one. I could have gone worse. Could have gone better. I had a prediction, so just to reiterate my objectives: aiming for a top 100k finish, and to achieve that, aiming towards trying to get an average of 70 points per week, average across the whole season. That'll be very, very hard to achieve. 70 points is a target that would have sometimes won you it. Would have won it 2-3 years ago. Wouldn't have quite got there last year. I think the average was 73. There was a lot of AI involved in the winner last year, but that's what we deal with these days. So yeah, let's run through the team and see how we went. So as I spoke to in previous videos, team is obviously broken up into defense, midfield, attack. And I do treat them as very, very much separate units, as what I'm trying to get as an average out of each of those units. So in defense, with goalkeeper and defenders, I feel I need to be sort of achieving 19 points a week. And hurrah, we did very, very well. I said, Raya, boring pick, safe pair of hands, but I got what I expected. In fact, I got a bit more than what I expected, because normally I would have just expected a clean sheet out of Raya, but we got some bonus as well, which was an absolute bonus. So we got 8 points out of Raya. Trent, again, as I spoke, people were probably not jumping on him this year as much, even though he's at a really good price point of 7 million. Yeah, solid 8 points. Could have had a return. Stuck one right onto Jota's head. Unfortunately, that didn't go in. But yeah, fabulous 8 points, lovely. Gabriel got exactly what I expected out of the Arsenal defence. Nice little solid 6 points. And Hall was good as well from Newcastle. Just the 5 points. Very relieved to get it, considering the sending off. Yeah, mixed emotions on that one. The sending off, letter of the law. Yeah, it's ridiculous, really. But yeah, Hall got 5 points. Went through most of the game with 10 men, and very happy with that. So out of what I was aiming to achieve, my prediction of 19 points out of my defence, I got 27, so ahead of the game, which was great. Midfield, yeah, that was a bag of emotions there. We'll start with Gordon. Disappointing 3 points. You'd normally expect some sort of a return out of him at home. He returned in pretty much every game, and a few really good hauls at home last year. But just 3 points, and an early substitution, but happily still got the 3 points out of him. Yeah, it is what it is. If there hadn't been the sending off, it could have been a completely different story. And the next one, Bruno, just 3 points as well. Could have been a haul there. Oh, seriously, this is it's a game of luck. And I think this is the thing we need to understand. It's one of the reasons I don't put captaincy into my forecasts and predictions and the analysis of what I expect a team to achieve, just because you've got to also allow for the unexpected. And sending off, Bruno missing 2 absolute sitters that he'd normally expect him to put away. It's football, so that's why I exclude captaincy completely. 3 points, grand, absolutely fine. Salah, smug moment. Told you he'd hit the ground running. He's had a full pre-season, good rest. He had no international competitions during the summer. He's come back, rested, fresh, ready to go. Golden assist, absolutely lovely. And this is probably my super smug moment. In my previous video, when I was doing my team, I said, you have to expect Liverpool are going to score, and in all likelihood, if Liverpool score, Jota's going to assist Salah, or Salah's going to assist Jota. One of them's going to get a goal. Hello, Jota in with an 8-pointer. I had predicted 24 points out of my midfield. I've come away with 28. It could have been so much more. A couple from Bruno. Salah had a couple of other big chances as well. Gordon not been sent off. It could have been through the ceiling. But I'm happy. I'm above my averages. That's what we're. Forget that every week. Happy as. Up front, yeah, mixed bag again. But again, it's about the unit. And next week, Havertz delivered this week. Fantastic. I really backed him. He was great last year. It's like if he's in that up front position or playing forward positions for Arsenal, he's going to bag. That's a great team. Saka deliveries. 12 points. Really, really, really pleased with that. Not so pleased with the other two. Solanke, just the 2 points. Again, he could have had 3. Didn't. People are selling him now. I'll talk more about what's going on there further into this video. But Solanke just a 2, Havertz 12, and Isak, he got the assist. I think I'm just grateful for that, given the sending off. I mean, it changed the whole dynamic of the game. He got just the assist, so he comes in because I captained him with a total of 10. Have I got regrets about not captaining in Salah? Absolutely. But if I had the same choices tomorrow, I'd make the same decision again. If only for that sending off, you have to. As he got an assist in 10 men, what could he have done if the full 11 had been out at St James's Park? So it is what it is. Overall, yeah, very, 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 very happy. I had predicted 63, excluding captaincy. I got an actual of 74, excluding captaincy. So with the captaincy, that's 79. So where's the 83 coming from? I hear you ask. Here is the one downside of the match weekend, and lessons for us all here. Well, particularly me. This is the second time, 2 years in a row, I've done something similar. On Friday, it was Friday afternoon, I had this little brainstorm that I was going to do a bench boost. So I took another look at my team and I changed my bench, took a little bit of money out of the team. I'm not going to go into all the ins and outs of it. And then I actually put on my bench boost. I thought, yeah, great. Playing goalkeeper. Yeah, not fantastic, but yeah. I mean, what you're aiming for in a bench boost. An average bench boost, you would hope to get 12 to 15 points. A good bench boost, 25. Or an excellent bench boost, about 30. Last year, I got 30. I didn't get that this year. I got 4 points because I changed my mind after about 2 hours. Thought, no, stick to the plan, Desmond. So I went back and I put it back to exactly to my original draft and the team that I announced last week. I've got to turn off bench boost. So I had a non-playing goalkeeper, non-playing defender, and 2 4 million, 4 points. It is what it is. It is what it is. Gets it out of the way. It's probably, in my opinion, probably the least valuable of all the various chips. I have used it. I had a plan for it. That plan is gone. Just have to get on with it. It's probably cost me between 10 and 15 points somewhere in the season. But it is what it is. However, I am on 83 points. At one point during the game week, I was sitting at 12,000 overall, but I only had Solanke to come. Solanke's come in, he's done nothing, so I was like sweating. The Porro goal cost me a lot of places, so I went from 12,000, and then progressively from there to 73,000, and then to 185,000. Now, having, I think I actually got away with it. Like Son didn't score. Eze, yeah, wow, he could have had a few. So these are players that could have hurt me. Eze in particular. I'm happy. I'm sitting at 185,000, but I'm only 4 or 5 points outside the top 10,000. Now rank, honestly, it matters very little. I mean, if I'd been 1-2 million, it actually doesn't matter at this stage. It's a 38 game season, but yeah, it's absolutely a bonus to be in there. Let's see how long. The main thing over this first 5 to 10 game weeks is just to try to stay in touch, not to fall too far off the pace, because that's when I get to sort of game week 5 and 6. That's when my analysis stuff starts to kick in, because I've actually got some good data for this year. We can see which is working best, the Salah or the Haaland. I think it's 1-0 to the Salah drafts at the moment. But I have a plan to counteract the Haaland brigade. So, next big question. Oh, sorry, I'm just going to talk to a couple of things. One thing about this team, and this again was part of my strategy for that first game week. There were other players I could have potentially brought in, but they would have been risk players, and I just didn't want to do it. So I mean, Nkunku, yeah, I wouldn't be selling him now, but I felt he was a high risk having him in teams. Now he's getting sold left, right, and centre. But I mean, what did you expect? Who they're playing? You know, yeah. Don't. Yeah. It was Kwanzaa. Yeah, again, he was always going to be rotation risk. 4.5 million Liverpool defenders. Yeah, fantastic. I get it. But see a few games before you bring in players like that. He was always going to be a rotation risk. Hooked at half time. Is he going to be back in your team now? You're stuck with a player. You got Barco. Didn't play. And Watkins. Watkins is totally on my radar, but people that brought him in for those early game weeks after he's not had a pre-season. I mean, yeah, please sell him because I will most likely be bringing him in game week 3 or 4. He's a fabulous player. Once he settles in, decent Villa side. He's almost a set and forget striker. He will just reliably bring you in your 7 points per week. Lovely, thank you. Let's keep that going, and you can focus your transfers in other areas. He's getting transferred out, so that suits me down to the ground because it does probably look like his price will drop. And trust me, in the coming weeks, as this transfer market in FPL goes absolutely bonkers, people are going to be, there's going to be some people are going to be losing money or have to take hits, or it's already happening. I can see it already in sort of all the blogs and things. People, should I take a hit? Should I take a hit? My team's got a clean bill of health. Happy. It's all set up for game week 3. Because here, as I alluded to in previous videos, I have already activated my free hit chip for game week 2. It looks like too good an opportunity to miss. I'm not really worried about using chips at this early stage of the season to gain an advantage because we have the 5 game week, and I'm very, very much focused into that 5 rolling transfer strategy. And I have a very, very specific plan around it. And as we go through various videos, you'll see how that is going to work. But we have obviously the Haaland factor is the main influencer of me doing this. So I think the Salah brigade, of which I'm one at the moment, 1-0 up. I think we gained an advantage. That is likely to swing back, I think, a bit the other day. Although, Brentford at home, Salah could easily bag a couple. He could really go off. So I'm hedging all my bets, and I've done a free hit that has both of them in, and I'm extremely happy with it. There may be some tweaks to this. I'll run you through it now, as I say, because I don't think I'll be doing a video later this week. But let me run you through this. So, Ederson, Ipswich home. Nothing is certain in football, but if you're going to put money on a clean sheet this week, you'd be putting it on that one, wouldn't you? I don't think there'll be any bonus. Just very, very happy to take my 6 points. I'm sure some goalkeeper's going to have a blinder, Pope or a Henderson. Well, they'll get a clean sheet and they'll make some saves, so they could end up on a nice 9 point. Lovely, fine, that's it. Play your own game, and I absolutely back that game, by the way. But I'm playing my percentages at the moment, so given the data, given the game, Ederson, safe pair of hands. My safe pair of hands for this week. Getting my 6 points. Trent, Brentford at home. I think Brentford is capable of scoring against Liverpool, but you've got to give them a decent shout for the clean sheet. That defence does look better under Slot, and Trent, I'll just always back him, and there is always a really good chance of a return. Like I said in the previous video, Trent will get about 20 returns this year, maybe more. He's going to get 4 or 5 goals. He's going to get 4 or 5 assists, and he's going to get at least 10 clean sheets. If you don't have him, you're going to miss those. So the best thing is just have him all the time, because you don't know when the hauls are going to come. They will come. And so Trent, Guardiola, Ipswich home. He was, as we thought, with Lewis playing. I thought about bringing in Lewis Hall for this game, but no, I'm just going to back Guardiola. I'm just going to stick with that. I think there's just a better chance. I think he'll get into some more advanced positions. As I said, with Lewis in the team, who is inverting, but looks much less of a threat in terms of getting assists or goals. He is playing a deeper role at the moment. Now, when Foden comes back in and to do various things, and whether Walker comes back in, etc., I suspect that will change in time. But for this game, with Ipswich at home, I would expect him to take up some more advanced positions. But hey, I'll just take the clean sheet. If it's just the clean sheet I get, I will take the clean sheet. And next up, Robinson for Fulham. I thought Fulham looked pretty okay against United. I'm playing the fixture as well as looking at Robinson's numbers from last year, his attacking threat as well as defensive numbers. Good player. It was on my radar a lot last year, and I brought him in once or twice. But I'm going to back him in this one with Leicester at home. I'm only going to forecast 2 points out of him. Forecast low. But he could easily get a clean sheet, and he could easily get his head on something. Leicester do not look great. And Fulham, they're not world beaters, but they're a solid unit, and they've got some good attacking threat. That is the defence in total. Ederson, Trent, Gvardiol, Robinson. I reckon there's 18, 20 points there. Like I said, with my defensive unit, I'm just looking for 19 points. If that could well overachieve. Equally, 1 goal against City. They did have a penchant for losing the odd goal to stupid, silly teams last year. But I think they'll be a bit more onto it this year, at least I hope so. So it could all go pear-shaped. There's got to be 18, 19 points there, but it could. That ceiling is massive if they go off. With the midfield, controversial choice this one. I normally like to go by data. And I haven't got too much data because of injuries, etc. This is a player I always liked, and I thought he was giving Man United some problems. I do need an enabler. I need a 5 million enabler, or I need to take some money out somewhere. I may do some tweaks later in the week, but at the moment I'm going for Adama for Fulham against Leicester. He's a bulldozer, and that's sort of a weak Leicester defence, not used to the strength and pace of the Premiership. He could easily get something. If I just get my 2 appearance points out of him, maybe 3 points if I get a clean sheet out of him as well. Let's see. Just as an eye test one, it's just a pure eye test one. Could go wrong, but as I said, I had 3 or 4 players blanked, and still came away with 79. Let's call it what it is, 79, not 83. I think I'm gonna stick with him, because then what I have to come is Eze. West Ham home, Eze. Robbed. Oh my God. Yeah. Anyone that watched it, what a lovely free kick. What a brilliant player. He could have had 2 or 3 in that game as well. How they lost that match, I'll never know. However, Eze at home, Selhurst Park, West Ham. I think he could go off. I'm just backing him for a 1 goal return in my predictions, based on last year's data, based on eye tests, based on what he's done in his last game. 7. Salah, Brentford home. Got to fancy again. We're going to go on with you have to fancy Liverpool are going to get a goal or 2. If Liverpool get a goal or 2, Salah's likely to be involved. He's either going to be sticking it into Jota, or Jota's going to be sticking one into him. I'm predicting them both just for 7, keeping it low. What did I say? So I need, out of midfield, I need 24 points. 24 points. So 3, 7, 21, 20. So I'm actually forecasting 23. I think that's because I'm allowing for Adama, and I'm keeping the predictions low on the 3 mains, Eze, Jota, and Salah. Again, that could potentially go large. Forwards. So, Haaland is in. Still only predicting him for 1 return. Who knows? It's football, and as I say, anything could happen. But he's obviously got my captain's armband. Predicting 7. Could have 2 or 3. Could be a 4. But we've seen him do it before. Against these weaker teams, promoted teams, coming in with 3 or 4 goals. I've got Solanke. Solanke made his debut. He didn't follow the narrative that I'd created in my own brain that he was going to get a couple of goals last night. but he should have had a couple of goals. And as he settles into that team, Everton at home, Everton were woeful at the weekend. They generally defend very, very well under Dyke. Dyke does defences, but at the moment their defence is a bit decimated. There's transfer rumours for various players. Tottenham at home, it's lanky. Could be good. Predicting 1. Could be more. He could have had 3 last night. And last but not least, I've got Muniz of Leicester. Sorry, not Muniz of Fulham, playing against Leicester. And just predicting the 4 for him. Didn't do too much against United, but he was great for me back into last year. He did really, really well. I've seen some comments from Fulham fans again about him, that he is really onto it, looking strong, fit and hungry. And yeah, Leicester at home, who are woeful. Just predicting the 4 points out of him. Again, could easily get a 1 or 2. So overall, excluding captain, I'm predicting a 66. I'd actually be happy with that. I'd actually be happy with that. And if my captain comes in, then I've hit over that 70 again, which has been really, really good to be doing that in this early part of the season. I actually do think this is a team that could absolutely go off, though. I only need 55 or something to stay on my 70-point average. Certainly I would actually be gutted if I got less than 55. I'll be happy with the 66. But I wouldn't be surprised. This thing could tip close to 80, 90, which would be absolutely fantastic. It would justify the use of the free hit. It will keep me well in touch with that top 100k. All of these fixtures are at home, and that's why I thought this is absolutely was when I actually started to play with the the free hit, and I came up with this team. It didn't look as though I'd taken too much out of it with having both Haaland and Salah, given the fixtures. And who they're playing, and I just mapped it out. Right, all home fixtures, all really, really good players, all capable of a return, either defensively or in attack. Yeah, so that's what I'm going with. So yeah, 66 excluding captain. But this one could go off. Yeah. And of course, as I always say, it's football. It could all go completely pear-shaped. You expect the unexpected. Football is a strange and wonderful game. That's why we do this. Anyway, that's it for today. I will be back next week. I don't think I'm going to do another one this week. There may be some tweaks to this, but I'm kind of set on it. Any tweaks I think will be relatively minor. So listen, I hope you all have a really good game week. Yeah, just, usual message. Have fun. Play your own game. And above all else, unlike me with the bloody bench boost thing on Friday, don't panic.